Welcome one and all to Talons Out Live on the War Eagle Radio Network with Coach Adam Dolan for this Monday, October 21st. And I'm not sure if the audio, can y'all hear me? I'm not sure if the audio is coming through. Adam, how are you tonight, brother?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Coach Dolan, how are you?
I'm all right. How are y'all doing? Good, I guess.
Hanging in there. Adam is, as you can tell, he is in the car, ready to go to his niece's basketball game. So, that's on Mallory's side, isn't it, Adam?
It is. That's correct. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, she plays for what? I guess McKenzie Junior High.
Yeah, junior high. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I know you're always so busy. You got a lot of things going on. So, one of these little quick opportunities to go visit. So, we'll make this somewhat short and sweet and talk about some stats and let you get on out of here so you can go enjoy that. Because I know, like for myself, I've been able to go to my son's band competition and such the last couple of weeks. And so it's always good to get to go visit and support the youngsters. Of course, we talk about that, as far as as far as the West Carroll stuff goes. Get out there and support them and make sure everything is, make sure you're heard. So, and I feel like that on Friday night, everybody was heard. Just was one of those deals where it was, I don't know if kind of a buzzsaw, maybe is that the terminology we want to kind of use going up against Camden and such, but I don't know. It was just kind of one of those nights, I guess. But Adam, let's go ahead and if you want to look at some of them stats, and we'll jump right into that. That way you can get going here in just a little bit and get to that basketball game.
For Camden, let's go over their stats first. Gage Lee, 6 carries for 63 yards. Isaac Moore, 3 carries for 30 yards. Amari Rogers, 2 carries, 27 yards. And Antoine Banks, 3 carries for 18 yards. For West Carroll at the game, it was Trendon Kirby, 5 carries for 64 yards. Mason Taylor, 15 carries for 57 yards. Zach Haynes, 9 carries for 29 yards. Let's go over some receiving stats here for West Carroll. Jace Hammett, 3 catches for 77 yards. For Camden, Isaac Moore, 4 catches, 188 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Quarterback stats for West Carroll, Zach Fowler, 4 out of 6 for 76 yards. For Camden, Jake Reynoldson, 5 out of 9, 184 yards, and 1 interception. Total offensive plays, West Carroll, 40 offensive plays for 211 yards. Camden, 30 offensive plays for 351 yards. Let's go over some more stats here. Passing yards, Camden 184, West Carroll 76. We talked a little bit about, let's talk about running the football as far as team stats. West Carroll 34 carries for 135 yards. Camden 21 carries for 167 yards. As we get to this game, buzzsaw, I think is the proper word. It seemed like Isaac Moore is a special talent, and we all knew that. But, Coach, talk about Isaac Moore a little bit for Camden, a little bit, and kind of what you were hoping to try to do with him. And unfortunately, it's a lot of people's had trouble containing him this year.
Yeah, he's a really good player, no doubt. Super fast and athletic. They made the switch over their bye week to him being a full-time receiver now that they're eliminated from their playoff contention in that 2A region, which is the SEC of 2A. That region's loaded. So yeah. They're just trying to help him out for the next level. He's been offered by several quality schools, smaller power, well, not Power 5, but, he might have some Power 5 offers coming. I mean, he's super fast. Maybe it's going to have to be a position fit. I don't know where he fits at the next level. Maybe receiver, maybe corner. I'm not sure. But he had been playing quarterback, and we prepared for quarterback. Him being in the backfield, not a bad idea. We're very short-handed when it comes to the secondary. So We did what we could. We did the best we could with that. You got a guy that's going to play on Saturdays on TV and ride in the airplane and play and doing those things. It's we didn't do a bad job on him. It's just when he gets his hands on the ball in space, we just don't have the athleticism to run with him right now. And he made us pay when he got the ball, and they did a good job just trying to do some simple things and got him the ball. He made one catch over the middle, and Zach covered him. I mean, he did a great job covering him. He just went up, got the ball, and then everyone else is in man coverage right there. It doesn't take much to go score after you make the guy miss. That's when you're in cover zero. So it was risk reward was either it's going to be high risk, high reward kind of thing with how we're having to play right now on defense. So that's going to be tough with him. And we handled a lot of the other things they did okay, but we're just shorthanded in the department when it comes to a guy like him.
It's only one game, Coach, after you had suffered the 3 losses of the key players due to injury, and it's one full game now since you've been without those 3. But talk a bit about what is some of the things you learned about your team after this past Friday night. It can be good or bad or indifferent.
We're still just a roller coaster of emotions when it comes to during the week and then during the game. And, it's just frustrating that we've progressed in a lot of areas. That's one area we haven't progressed enough in yet, is knowing how to be emotionally stable at all times. And it has been a bugaboo for 3 years here, and it still is. Now, the saving grace of that is we have made strides in that department for sure. We played, and I know people will say, well, they played some younger guys and stuff, but I really wanted to turn the scoreboard off at halftime. Like the game, that didn't matter.
Sure, right.
We played better as far as executing stuff in the second half after we settled some things down. That it wasn't Camden's what they were doing. Now they made it harder because, kind of said it last time we were on here, their front 3 and their 2 inside linebackers are good. And, if they were in a lot of other 2A regions across the state, they would win a region here and there. They would be a 2 or 3 in some of those. And unfortunately, they're not going to be in the playoffs and the one they're in now. But they are a quality team in a lot of ways with a guy that's going to play, major college football somewhere. So, it was going to be a hard ask, but we just didn't execute properly on offense early on. We didn't have the same execution that we did against Brewston. And there's some reasons why. We were trying to do some things that would catch them and that were game plan oriented and put in short order, and we just didn't. I guess we didn't get it coached well enough during the week. And that's on me. I'll take blame for that. I told our kids that we did some things on offense. That's my fault that I thought we could do, and just wasn't the right move to make. But going forward, I think we can clean some things up and we'll be all right. But our guys still fight hard. They fought hard. I'm proud of that. I wish we could figure out this emotional stability a little bit better.
Jace Hammett, the receiver, he's becoming 3 catches, 77 yards. I say he's been doing it all year basically. Talk a little bit about Zach Fowler and Jace's connection. It seems like Jace seems to always come up with the big catch, it seems like, when we need it, especially in the Brewston game.
Yeah, Jace has had a good start. I say start. I mean, it's kind of a start of the new stuff we're having to do. Jace is going to have to be the first target. We're playing with a lot of heavier formations, less receivers on the field. I mean, this week you're going to see 8th graders, multiple 8th graders at times on the field on offense if we've got more than one receiver out there. And there's going to be times this week we're not going to have a receiver on the field, and Jace will be either at tight end or in the backfield. He's going to have to be that that target. We've got to be selective of when we throw it and how we throw it. But Jace has great hands. He can catch the football. He's shown that on offense and defense. Very proud of where he's come as a football player. Still, I feel like he's been around for more than he has. He's just a sophomore. I feel like he's been here 3 or 4 years, but which is a good thing. And we're going to have to key with him more. Like, we got to do more with him. And that's something we, like I said, he'll be in the backfield a little bit more this week. We're going to have to rotate some pieces in the backfield and find a way to get Trendon and Hames and Mason some touches, but also they've got to play every snap on defense, and we've got to get them rested a little bit on offense, even if it's for a drive here and there. So that's going to be a big key on offense this week is, how do we save some of our guys on defense? Because, we're going to have to run around. And the game is going to be played on the perimeter against Kip. They want to get to the perimeter and stuff. So we're going to have some ways to get them off the field on offense. And Jace is going to be used more in the run game and the passing game going forward.
I'm going to mention an 8th grader and talk about him, Alexander Cavanis.
Alex has done a great job coming up. The other night, something that, wasn't on the box score, we had an issue with a personnel grouping that we're in and getting some people on and off the field. And, it was a situation either we had one timeout left and I didn't want to burn it, or we didn't have any timeouts left. And we needed somebody to go do something at a skill spot. He had no clue what to do, had no clue what the play was. We didn't have time to really get everything he needed to know relayed to him. And he went out there and just lined up and did what was natural, put his hand down, tried to block somebody, which doesn't seem like a lot. But if you're an 8th grader going in there and playing against guys that are, grown men to you, and you've only been doing this a couple of weeks with these guys, and just go in there and just go try to do something for the team, that is so great to see. And I hope we got some older guys that saw that, because you do that enough as a young guy, I swear to you, I'll play him over an older guy in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
So I love the fact that we've got some of these 8th graders that are, even the ones that haven't played a lot so far with us, they're doing a good job in practice. They're there, they're practicing, they're learning, they're soaking a lot of things up. And that is so valuable. It might not be right now, but it will be come spring football in next fall. And you can't overstate how important it is and how valuable it is. And I wish we had all of our 8th graders up here doing that now, but, we're just not there yet and didn't have that possibility. But that'll come. But no, Cavanis has done a great job, and I expect to him. He cares. I can care. He wants to do right. He wants to do well. He wants to be successful. I can already tell that. So I think he's got a bright future with us.
Yeah, it seems like those 8th graders have really jumped in there and kind of done what you've been asking of them and done what they need to do. Adam, you got anything else that you want to touch on as far as the Camden game goes?
That's it as far as the Camden game. That's all my notes I've got here.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're ready to rock, it's 6:00. I think that ball game's probably starting right about now. So if you're ready to rock, we'll let you ease on out here so you can go enjoy your niece and enjoy that ball game.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you jumping on here and taking your time to talk a little bit about some of those stats and stuff. And me and Adam Dolan, we'll talk a little bit more headed into Memphis Kip and stuff. But go enjoy your niece, Adam.
Thank you. Holler at me Friday for
all right.
Memphis.
Appreciate you.
Coach. Thank you. You too, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Coach Dolan, we'll
yes, sir.
It'll just be me and you for now. And so I would be I guess I should bring up your shirt there. You got a Tennessee shirt on, so it was a good Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah. I had a chance to go. I had went the week before against Florida. Just got to watch it with some friends and stuff like that, and had a big time. I'm as big a Tennessee fan as you're gonna find. Like when it comes to everything, I love all the sports up there. Huge fan. I try to stay within my means when it comes to, not going over the top with stuff. But big fan of Tennessee, and I'm so weird when it comes to the players and where they're from and the recruiting. I follow recruiting daily, on message boards and different places, and I'm invested, well invested in the day-to-day activity, what goes on in Tennessee football, member of different sites and stuff like that. And I'm just an absolute nerd and geek when it comes to it and love it. And I try to get up there 3 or 4 times a year for games, and I really enjoy it. And that was a huge win for us.
Yeah, that was. I guess it was kind of a rekindling there, but after that Camden game the other night, just was able to kind of maybe turn your eyes upon Tennessee and have some happy moments and stuff, and
Oh,
and kind of
definitely.
get the Camden game out of your head.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I've had many football coaches tell me this a lot. Like I know some buddies that are like this that are so diehard about their teams, and I've heard NFL players say this. They lose their game, they're over it. A day or two. Their college team loses a game, they're not over until they win again. I mean, with me, I kind of hang on every breath when it comes to never play with the Tennessee games. We would have lost that game, even though I mean, it's no shame in losing Alabama and stuff like that, but. We're at a time now to where we can definitely compete with them and almost every team in the country. And we lose a home game to somebody. I mean, that's devastating to me. Like I would hold that. That would be in my mind and head, maybe even longer than one of our losses. I
Right.
don't know. I see it differently. Like when it's your livelihood and you're coaching it, that you see it from a different perspective. When you see it from a fan perspective, it's a different feeling. And I love to have that separation because and I get to enjoy being a fan more than sometimes, you're coaching, you're wrapped up in the day to day and the
Yeah.
down the road and everything. It's not always fun. It's not because there's stress that comes with it and the worry and the doubt that, you have for your coaches and your kids and all that kind of stuff. It's not always, I told our kids today, we're going to expect to win. I hate losing more than I like to win by far. Winning's expected. We'll enjoy it for about 12 hours and we move on. But the Tennessee's a little bit different. I'll hold on to this one for several months. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. Until the next time Alabama comes back around.
that's right.
Right. All right. So I guess the word on the street and everything that we need to know about going to Memphis Kip. So
Yep.
I guess let us know what you found out and reveal it right here.
Well, we've been trying to figure that out today, Mr. Douglas and I, and talking with our coach and admin. And I don't think people have heard that we might have to play Thursday. And as of right now, that's the plan. We're going to play on Thursday. And the reasoning why is nothing to do with us, and it's actually nothing to do with Kip. It has to do with what the city of Memphis, if you're a metro school in Memphis, you are the arbiters that set the sites of where the games are and the officials. They do this well in advance. And Kip, like so many schools in Memphis, they don't have their own field. So they rotate what places they play at. So there's not enough officials and there's not enough fields to go around in Memphis. So there's a governing body. I can't remember the acronym of what it stands for, but they're in it just like almost every metro school. And that association tells Kip where they're going to play. And a lot of times, if they have what's called a home game, they'll play at Crump Stadium where we're going to play. And I can get that I'll get that address out there, but it's at Crump, and I've played there before. It's a fine stadium, fine field, fine location. Nothing wrong with it. Been there actually a couple of times and played and or not played there, but coached there. But we'll be playing Thursday at 7:00. That is as of right now. That's what I was told. Literally at about 3:30. So
Gotcha.
that's how we're going to plan and go forward. And the reason why is if you're a 1A, 2A, and some 3A schools in Memphis, you play your games on Thursdays. I think Kip has only played one game on a Friday. Some
Oh
schools play
wow.
on Mondays. It's just a different world, and there's nothing they can do about it. A lot of times they have no officiating enough to go around. So I'm sure there'll be a larger school in Memphis, a 4A, 5A, or 6A team will be playing at Crump on Friday night. So
Right.
it's not as simple as like, well, let's just move to Friday. Well,
Logistics.
it's not that simple. It's not that simple at all. Let's move to Saturday. It's not that simple. Um, them coming up here, they were not going to do that. And I totally get that. The issue was our contract was, that was done when Coach Morris was the head coach before last season, when they were, we and them got on the schedule together. In the contract, it did say for us to play them on the 25th, which is the Friday. I think that was more of an oversight. Those contracts, I'm not going to say they're void when it comes to that association in Memphis, but it's kind of known that those schools games get moved to Thursday a lot because of them being the host team. So they came to us
Right.
on a Friday last year. We have to go to them on a Thursday this year, and it's not really their deal. It's not really our deal. It's just kind of what happens down there, and
Right.
we got to go do it. So, and which is fine. I'd rather play on a Thursday than a Saturday. I'm totally fine with it. We'll be ready to go one way or the other. But yeah, that makes for long night and coming back getting ready to go Friday. So, but we'll be all right. It's par for the course, kind of. So it'll be fine.
Now, I want to say it was Coach Morris's first year. I think whenever we did the playoffs, did we
Mhm.
not play at Crump Stadium?
I would figure they played Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington actually has their own field. I bet y'all played at Booker T. Washington.
I know we've played at Booker T. Washington 2 different times. One of them we played Booker T. Washington. The other one we played, I think, Mace or something.
When we
And
played
then
Mace, I was there. We played them at Memphis Central.
Memphis Central.
Memphis
Is that the
Central
one
has
that's
their own
got the
field.
hospital in the background?
Crump has, and Memphis Central does too. Two different
Okay.
hospitals.
So I was just trying to look up some pictures and stuff and kind of see what we needed to do as far as the broadcast go and see if we had a spot up there. It looks like they've got a press box, but
They do. As far
I
as I
don't know.
remember, they do.
I may need to go prepared to sit outside as well. So I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. So,
As I
but
remember, the last time I was there was in 2011, and I'm pretty sure our guys were in a press box up there. So,
yeah. So
I know that was a minute ago, but I think
Yeah.
that was the last. I think I was there in 2009 and 2011.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly whenever. I thought we had played at that stadium by the way it looks, but there's one that I remember. There's a barbecue joint a couple blocks over from it, Tops Barbecue, and then there was a couple times a helicopter landed on top of the building right behind us. So I don't remember
Yeah.
if that was where we were at or not, but it's because it's been 3 or 4 years ago. So
Yeah, I think if they played BTW, they played BTW at home. Or Booker T. Washington has their own field now.
yeah,
I'm telling you, stranger things. I mean, those teams don't always play at their home game. It's a strange thing down there.
yeah,
But it's I've been there. It's a turf field. We won't have to worry about none of the as far as it being a bad playing surface and stuff. And as far as I remember, it's pretty easy to get to in and off of the interstate there and
yeah.
off of Sam Cooper Boulevard, I think. So it's not a bad location. It's actually it'll take a little less than 2 hours to get there from school. So
Shouldn't be too bad.
no, it'd be fine. It'd be like us going to us going to Perry County. So
Yeah. All right. So what as far as going to Kip on Thursday night is what's some of the things that you feel like that you have to change and since it's a day early, I mean, I know you're going to lose a day of practice and such.
yep,
So what are some
huge.
of the things like with that?
You got to move things up in your week. I mean, we're going to have to combine a lot of what we do on Tuesday and Wednesday for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a much longer day for us. It's going to have to be. There's no way around it. Wednesday's got to be a combination of Wednesday and Thursday stuff. So you can't just have your normal Thursday. You got to have a little added to it. Today we had a little bit more added to the offensive stuff to what we did today. It's just one of those things. And I would rather it be that way than actually play on Saturday. I coach on Thursdays. I love coaching on Thursdays. Sometimes you can get into a week like when you're Thursday. Sometimes your guys are ready to play. And that extra day, I don't know. It can kind of drain you some. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. I've very rarely had a lot of good quality Saturday games. Had a couple, but even coached on a Sunday game one time. We had a game on a Saturday get canceled or rained out or a thunderstorm or whatever, and we played Sunday afternoon, and that was wild because you never would think that as a high school coach, but that absolutely kills you for the next week because you don't have the weekend to prepare. So you have to cancel your JV game on Monday, and it made the next week really bad. But no, Thursday's gonna be fine. We'll be fine. Now, if I could have known in advance that we were going to play on Thursday for sure, tomorrow we would have handled. Tomorrow. Yesterday, Sunday afternoon, we could have handled that a little differently. We could have maybe had our guys come up there and do some of the stuff we do on Mondays then and kind of jumpstart the week that way. I've done it been part of that in the past at other places, and it worked well for us. But You try to keep it as normal as you can, but you gotta sandwich a bunch of those things in together. So Wednesday will be the bigger change for us. It won't be so much tomorrow. We'll just be a little longer. But you worry about, not having that extra day of practice. But, at this time of year, it's okay. It's okay to not have that extra day. It really is. I look forward to playing on Thursday, actually.
Right. All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about your 3 keys to that game, going down there and see if we can come away with a victory.
Set the edge on defense. Set the edge on defense. Set the edge on defense.
1 through 3, right there, huh?
No, I mean it's pretty important. It's going to be really important this week to set the edge on the defense and have a firm edge and make sure if they're going to run around it, they're going to have to lose ground to try to get around it. We've got to take incredible angles to their running backs and quarterbacks when they're trying to get the ball outside. We got to force the football into the teeth of the defense. I'd love to make them play, inside the tackle box all night long. I think that would be great for us. I really think we would fare very well if the ball could stay inside the hash when we're on defense. They were a lot better last year. I'm not trying to, disparage them in any way. They've had a lot of young guys like us. They had like 17 seniors last year. They've replaced a lot of people like we did. They've had a tough year. I think they've had quite a few injuries. Looking at the film, they've seen some different guys in and out. I don't know if kids have quit, moved on, suspension, injuries, whatever. There's just a lot of different kids in different spots on tape. That's hard. I'm living through it now. So I get that from a coach's point of view. But setting the edge on defense, I usually wouldn't say that number one, but that's number one. I mean, if we can set the edge on the defense, I think we'll have a really good chance of playing good defense against them. Like our guys today, we talked about it at length. Special teams, win, not just get through, not just be okay. If we can win special teams, I definitely think we can go block a punt. We can get some onside kicks maybe here and there. We can definitely. I think we can get some returns here and there. I think we can definitely win the battle in special teams. We've done a lot better the last month of that. Like to see that progressing. So, with playing good defense as far as the edge being set, I'll give them some runs in the teeth of the defense and let them, kind of try to muddy it up in there and stay with us in there. But as long as we don't let the ball get thrown over our head and ran around us, I feel pretty good about it. And then special teams and then offense is just we've got to be way more efficient what we're doing. We've got to be way more efficient on first down. The other night, we were nowhere near as efficient on first down as we were against Brewston. Playing a better opponent, that happens sometimes, but we've got to run the football more effectively on first down. And that there's a whole thing with that. That's, from the offensive lineman, that's from, the backfield as far as the blocking from the backfield, actually the ball carrier, knowing where to put your body to make sure you're where you're supposed to be. I wish it was as simple as people think it is up in the crowd sometimes. It's just not run around with football. It's not that. We've done a decent job. We've got to do a better job. I think if we can just be more efficient in the run game, it'll set up some of the play action passes that we've been able to hit the Jace the last couple of weeks to get some of the bigger chunk plays. But, we're efficient on first down. That's going to hopefully see what you saw against Brewston, where we're going to have long possessions, and that'll be good. I don't think what we do on offense is normally what a team from Memphis sees. They don't see a whole lot of that. So hopefully, they're not going to be super prepared exactly for that. We can get what we need out of it and be efficient. Like I say every week, no penalties before the snap, no penalties after the play. Don't put the ball on the ground kind of stuff. Just be efficient.
Well, all right. That sounds pretty good. Let's hopefully we can go down there and take care of business and come back with a victory. And I know it seems like a lot of times, whether you win or lose, going to Memphis is sometimes kind of a mental challenge in itself, as far as the logistics of getting down there, leaving earlier and things like that. And it just seems like it, sometimes can probably get in your head a little bit as far as some of the players and some of the kids that, we're going down there to play even if it's a 1A or 2A school, it may feel like it's much bigger than what it really is.
Yeah, if you haven't done it quite a bit, it could definitely feel like that. I don't know if it was a good thing. I guess it was from the point of view I've been through it before as a coach. When I grew up playing high school, we didn't have to travel very far for games being here in Northwest Tennessee. But coaching when I coached O'Brien, we got matched up with Memphis schools in the playoffs. So we went down there a handful of times and everything, and kind of got used to it. And then also when I was in Kentucky, we were the second largest school in the state at McCracken, and our closest region game was 2 hours and 25 minutes away from us. So
wow.
when we traveled
Right.
like I think in 2 years we only rode a school bus 2 times because it was so far. I think it was to Mayfield and across the road or across the town to Tillman. Everything else was chartered because the closest game we usually had was actually going from Paducah to Bowling Green. That's 2.5 hours. A little over. So we went to Elizabethton. We went to, North Hardin. We traveled time zones over there. It was interesting.
Yeah.
So, but you get used to that, and you have ways to get your mind right for that, and knowing when you're leaving early. And our kids didn't know it any different then. I think we should be okay with that. From last year to this year, we're kind of we've kind of gotten accustomed to some travel on a bus.
Right.
The Brewston trip is only 30 minutes, but we went to Perry County, we went to McEwen. Last year we went to FACS. All those different things. So I think we'll be fine. I don't think of the trip, if it's under 2 hours, to me that's not much of anything.
That's a win.
Our guys they'll be awake for about 30 minutes and listen to music and whatever, and then most of them they'll get a little nap in, and then we'll wake up and get in there, get ready to go play. I'll try not to make it out to be anything what it is. It's just a bus ride to go play football.
Right. Well, hopefully everybody has got that same mentality, and they don't, like you said, make it bigger than what it really is. So
that's what we try to do. Keep it in perspective. It's just a bus ride. No different than anything else.
Yeah. Well, all right. If you've broke the news, I guess we'll go ahead and we're able to put it out there that it is on Thursday night.
Yeah,
I
feel like it's fine to say that. I don't have anything more than that. I haven't been told anything. Like I said, it was about 3:30. Mr. Douglas and I spoke about it, and I feel like we're going to have to do it on Thursday. I don't know what the alternative option would be. I know we're not going to have a place to play down there on Friday. I don't feel like, because their school system doesn't own the buses either. It's kind of a weird deal down there. You got the bus situation's a monster down there. So them coming up here on a Friday would almost be, I don't want to say impossible, but it'd be close to it. And then they really frown upon playing Saturday games down there in Memphis. They would rather play on a Wednesday. I've seen it many times. They'll play on a Monday or a Wednesday before they'll play on Saturdays.
Right.
So it's Thursday or nothing kind of look right now.
Okay. Well, if something rips, breaks, or tears, and it does change, let us know, and we'll share it out there and get everything put in the right direction.
Yeah, I definitely. I hate to be like, we're going to play on that. I don't know if it's 100%, but that's the only thing I can go on right now. So as far as our coaches and our coaching staff, our coaching staff and our players, we're going to prepare to play at 7:00 at Crump Stadium against Kip on Thursday. So.
All right. Well, that sounds like a plan. All right. Well, if you've got you don't have anything else, we'll send it on out and get ready to rock and roll. And like we said, Thursday night, Crump Stadium, Memphis Kip Collegiate. They're the Phoenix, so we'll go down there and see if we can soar over the top of the Phoenix and go get us a victory. And everybody go a little early, get you some good barbecue at Tops Barbecue, Central Barbecue, something. Get you some good Memphis barbecue down there, and then come support your guys and let's have a good ball game.
Bring some cowbells.
Bring some cowbells. Be sure you pack plenty of cowbells and bring those, Coach Stone says. All right, brother. Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate Adam Welch joining us. Let him go a little early so he could get to his niece ball game. Hopefully, he gets to enjoy that. And that'll do it. We'll talk to everybody on Thursday night. Hometown Grocery Deli pregame show will start at 6:30, and the kickoff at 7 o'clock from Crump Stadium in Memphis, playing Memphis Kip. So on behalf of Adam Welch, Adam Dolan, I'm Jonathan Gowan, and we will talk to you Thursday on the War Eagle Radio Network.